Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around, mysteries we have found.
And good morning once again. What are we doing here? It's morning. The sun is shining. I've taken a couple breaths. Look at my hair. So, this is our chance to check in here in the morning. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. So a friend of mine had won an auction. And part of that auction was a document from 1890 on using the planchette, which is like using a Ouija board. He is the person that wrote the book on the history of these things, but I was up way too late transcribing, trying to figure out what the words are on this letter. Good morning. Good morning, Maureen and Angelina. I am so tired. Which again is why I have so much gratitude for doing this, because otherwise I would be all manic, trust me. So, but instead I'm going to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean and feel that light switch. Take a breath. Have my feet flat on the floor. Have our butt doing the kitty dance. Shoulders relaxed. Neck relaxed. And tonight I'm going to be up at Lune Metaphysical in Hagerstown. So I'll get to do some more live reading. I really love that. So what more could I want? Am I wrong? But now we get to check in with the universe before we start. Get to see if there's any angers or resentments or anything that we need to check in about, so that if we discuss it or we look at it this morning, if something goes awry later on today, maybe we can say, well, I already thought about that. I already checked in with myself, and I'm not going to let it affect me today. I am so out of sorts, aren't I? Let's just do all this stuff. Okay. But we're not here to hear me talk. We're here to check in with the universe and let the universe do the talking. So, let's do our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea, and if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one conversation. This is a totally different path, and this stack here will lead us in a totally different direction. And today, let's take a look right at the center, right at the heart. Where's that breath at? I hope everybody here does that check-in, see where their shoulders are. I love asking people that. You know, they sit down, and again, it's like I always ask them, when is the last time you took a breath? And the relief on their face, it's like they have permission. Oh, that's right. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to let my shoulders relax for the next 20 minutes. So we're going to do our 3 in 1. And I'm going to flip each card over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. And the first card we have, it is the 9 of Swords. So, swords are our thoughts, our ideas. And after a while, things can start weighing on us, and so swords can become our anxieties. When things take too long, when we drag things out or whatever it may be. You know, we start off with one sword, which is that idea, and two swords making choices. But as we move on, you know, we want to get to that 10 because it's a cycle of 1 to 10. And sometimes just getting there can cause all that anxiety. So 9 of Swords, traditionally sometimes called the nightmare card. These are the things that keep us awake at night. Followed by the 9 of Coins. So the 9 of Coins are home, health, finances, all the things that keep us grounded. And since I love teaching tarot and tarot history, traditionally, particularly when we're reading the Marseille, which is this, you have hard suits and you have soft suits. Hard suits are the swords and wands because they can be used as weapons. The soft suits are the coins and the cups. And so here we have the coins. And so 9s are also about fulfillment because we are close to reaching that goal. As I always say, when we run a race, you know, we have the numerology of 1 to 10. 10 is not the finish line. 9 is the finish line. 10 is what we do with the winnings. So this right here is about things that maybe are completing, are at that final stage, and sometimes the anxiety we put into it. Maybe it's even like just the fact that this is Thursday and tomorrow's Friday, and starting out on Monday, man, it was rough, and then it just builds from there. But let's see what the next card says so we get an idea. And it's the 8 of Cups. So when we see cards with this many suits, we have swords, which are the element of air, and these are our thoughts and idea. We have coins, which are the elements of earth, and that's home, health, and finances. And when we see, and the things that keep us grounded. And when we see the cups, that's our spirituality. Cups are our emotions, feelings. So this is almost a whole, it's the mind, you know, heart, body experience. So this is one of those things where with the 8 of Cups, we do have anxieties. We all have them. And we reach certain goals. But sometimes to be able to move past that, because again, life is a cycle. Numerology is a cycle. Sometimes we need to be willing to look at a different map and say, maybe I need to go in a different direction. And sometimes the things that helped us get to the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Coins, sometimes those things are the anxieties that we produced trying to get where we are today. Sometimes we need to just recognize how we're feeling, what we're doing, where we're at. And then with the 8 of Cups, 8s are about progress, moving forward. And if cups are emotions and spirituality and feelings, it's about recognizing those things that cause us the anxiety. And it may have been a gift. It may be a reason why it's like we finally got panicked and did something so that we could finish it. I know me, and I will often do 80% of the work in the last 20% of the time. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it. And so I have 20% of the time left, and I have to do 80% of the work. And that causes those anxieties. But as we start nearing the end, it's like, okay, time to find a way to release those anxieties and then maybe let go of them and allow ourselves to drift away, to walk away from all that stress that we're feeling. But let's take a look at what the advice card is. And it's the 6 of Coins. So sometimes one of the ways that we can get out of anxiety, when we are stressed, I have a network that I'm building at my office, and trust me, that can be stressful. But the advice card is kind of like with the 6 of Coins. And 6s are about harmony, improvement, things getting better. When we see the Six of Coins, then, it's about gratitude. It's about, Angelina saying, most of my motivation comes from deadlines too. Yeah. But with the Six of Coins, it's about looking at the challenges that we had to get where we are today. But what are the positive things that we've learned from it? Who are the people that helped us? What can we do to help others? And so this is one of those things about gratitude for the day. Yeah, we have our anxieties. Yes, we have deadlines to meet. But it gets to a point where we need to be able to give ourselves a break. Maybe go someplace, treat ourselves, use this as a map. See, it almost looks like a map. Just to drift away, just to walk away from what is causing the anxiety right now. And sometimes a good way to do that is by helping others, teaching others, finding others who have that same anxiety and giving to them. You know, Pamela Coleman Smith, on her card for the Six of Coins, she shows a person who has a scale. And he's standing up, and there's two people that look, they could be homeless, they look needy. And he's actually weighing out money, and he's actually giving to the poor because he's gotten over the challenge of the fives. And doesn't that feel good when we do that? So for today, let's think about the gratitude we have. Acknowledge any anxieties that we have for whatever the day is going to, present. Because again, majors, the ones with the pictures, those are the destiny cards. These are just day-to-day cards. Again, welcome to a Thursday. So this is just a reminder to maybe look for a little bit of gratitude. Find gratitude for where we are in some areas of our lives and the areas that are causing us stress. How can we map away from it just for a little bit? And maybe using our gratitude and our ability to help people to pull ourselves out of ourselves. So, and that's going to be tonight. Tonight I'm going to be doing the readings for people. And so sometimes I try and give a little extra. I'll spend all the extra time somebody might need. And that always makes me feel better. So, with that, take care. Thank you all very much. I hope you again have that amazing day. And with that, I am going to say goodbye, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand,